The next task is to create a gradient in this box for the quote. So just like we did for the text over here, we're just going to go to Effects and click Gradient. And we want to, again, change these colors to that yellow and green. All right. And this setting right here. Now I want to go ahead and click on this box with the text tool, and it becomes a text box. Right, and you may have noticed that this was centered, and this was actually bold and at size 14, and the student's name was below that, and it was not bolded. Move that down a little bit, and that's complete. Step number 14 is to edit this box here. The purpose of having this box is to sit on top of the picture, but behind the text to make the text more legible. We want to go ahead and change the color of this box to yellow. I'm going to use that same yellow I've been using. And if you go into Effects, you can change the transparency or the opacity. And if you change that down to about 50%, that is what I chose on the spread, and that seemed to work pretty well. And we want to go ahead and get rid of that border now that we can see it since it's a different color. And that'll bring us to step 15, which is to actually create text boxes for each of these captions. Now, you don't necessarily need to write the exact same caption that I did, but please note there should at least be a word or phrase at the beginning that is bold and describes the picture. In this case, it's lights so bright. And eventually I'm going to want to bold that. I'm going to make this box a little bit bigger for a second here. Once you type the text, what we need to do is click on the box, and you can go up to text right here and change the font and the size. And in this case, it was Helvetica, so we're going to just leave it as Helvetica, but these captions are supposed to be at size 6 font. And if you click back on Object, it will give you the XY coordinates that you need. Now we need to make sure that the width of the text box is the same across the entire page for the captions. So in this case, they're supposed to be 14 picas wide. So once we've got that figured out, we can just go ahead and place this basically there in the center. And we want to know where this is lined up on the y-axis also, because we want to make sure that it is at the same height as the caption over here. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure that's on 3 picas. And let's make the character style that we need for these captions. Now, it won't let you actually do bold and regular in the same character style. So we're just going to select this, and we actually have to make sure that the text is selected, and go up to Format, Make Character Style. If you go back into character styles, you'll see that you have a new character style called Character Style 1. Go ahead and edit that, and you'll see that it is exactly what you set it up as. And we're just going to change this to Our Captions. You can name it anything you want. And then while I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and select that and bold it. For the sake of time, I will just copy and paste this because it's supposed to be right there. And you should go ahead and make your own captions, or at least copy the captions that I've made. But for now, I'm just copying and pasting that to show you. and I want to make the y coordinate also at 3, so that way it is lined up with this one. And I'm going to make 2 more text boxes, and those are supposed to go right here and right here. Instead of trying to just use the grid or the guides, you can go back and click on this one to see what the x coordinate was, and it was 18. So when you click on this one, it should also be 18. And make sure this is 1 pica space there, and this one should also be the same as this one. So we've got 33. We'll click on this one here and make that 33. And now those are lined up perfectly. It's a nice little trick there for you. And down here, as you recall, we want you to make your own captions for these. So go ahead and make your caption, and make sure you use the right character style. So click on it, go up to Format, Character Styles, choose the R Captions character style, and type in something that follows the A, B, C, and D of captions. And that you should do for both here. And then you'll also want to make sure that they're lined up and everything. That brings us to the text area over here. And what we want to do is create a text box, and we're going to make columns from this text box. So let's just make the first column, and I've kind of let you cheat here by telling you that the box is actually 15 by 16. So when you start typing, okay, that's fine for right this moment. When it's on object right here, you can change the height and the width. So I'm changing this to 15 and 16. I've also told you the coordinates, which I did an okay job just kind of eyeballing it right here, but it's actually supposed to be -49 and 47. And it's the exact width and height that I need now. So type some sample text in there. Once you've typed your text, go ahead and highlight it. And on a Mac, you may not have the copy-paste functions highlighted right here. So on a Mac, you'll need to do Command-C and then Command-V. And I'm just going to do that several times so that there's enough text there to go around. And we also need to make sure that the font is correctly sized, which it should be at size 10. And now that we have corrected that, you'll notice here that there's this little plus sign. And that plus sign means that there's additional text there. So if we click on that, now we've got this little arrow that says, hey, I want to start another text. And then you'll want to make sure that this is the same size. So click on Object. We know that the width is supposed to be 15 and the height is supposed to be 16. Okay, and then there's still more text, so we do that again. Change this to 15. Change this to 16. Now, if you didn't actually paste it enough times, you may not have had enough text to do that. And so if that's the case, then you can go ahead and paste it again. If you have this plus sign here, theoretically, what you've done here is there wasn't enough room for your story, and you either need to cut that down or add more space. For this case, I'm just going to leave it. Next, we need to give it that drop cap. So if you actually just click right here and go to Window, drop cap, change it to this one right here, and then the way I had it set up was lines for 2 and offset 1, and that gives it that nice drop cap look right there. And the only thing that's left, aside from editing and placing that main dominant photo, is to add our byline. So I'm just going to say by John Gearhart, and this was actually size 10, and it was in the Kiefer text, and you can just place that about right there. To edit that photo, we'll actually want to go to File, Save and Close, and then we're going to navigate to the Photos or Images section, to the specific folder where your photos are located for this spread. Once you find the photo, click on it, and then click Edit Image. The photo editor will pop up. Now there are all sorts of fancy things that you can do inside our photo editor. If you click the arrow over, you'll see there are quite a few options that are in here. But remember, what we're trying to do is recreate this spread. So it looks like it's a black and white photo with just these select colors sort of popping out from the Christmas lights. So we need to figure out how to do that on this spread. One thing you could always try in the beginning is just this enhance function. And I kind of like the look right there that makes those pretty bright. After you enhance it, let's find how you do the color splash. Well, the color splash is located right here, and by clicking this, it will automatically turn the picture to black and white. And you have a couple of options. You have the free color, which just means that you can paint in one of these brush sizes, and it will, in that area, come to color instead of black and white. You can then erase that if you messed up or something. But what I'm interested in is this smart color. And I'm going to change my brush size since I know that these lights are pretty small. But if you notice here, the little ring of color is changing when I hover over it. And all I'm doing there is picking out a color and then painting with it. See, I didn't actually get the right color there. I'm trying to get the color of the actual lights. And you just need to kind of hover over and find that. I didn't really get it. I don't really, I like how this looks, where you can tell that it is the light that is making that color, not just the overall hue of the picture. Okay, and you can kind of play with this for a little while to get it the way that you want it. There's unlimited undos within this editor, and also it does not overwrite the original image, so you're not going to break anything or ruin a picture, so you don't have to worry about that. And once you have it the way that you like, click Apply, and then click Save. And it's going to save that image right next to the original image in your folder. You may not see it right away. It may take it a second to appear in there. And sometimes I even will click into another folder and then click back into it and look for it. And it's still not quite in there just yet, and that's okay. It'll just take it a second. In the meantime, let's go back to the page that we were editing and click Edit Spread here. And the picture should probably be in here by now. And it is. You'll see that this one right here, I know that that's the one that I edited prior to today because it was over here on the spread, and that tells me that it was used on this page. This is the one that I just did because it hasn't been used on a spread yet. So I'm just going to drag and drop that onto the box, and just like we did earlier, we need to resize the red bounding box. Click Apply, and we're done. So I think that completes all of the steps through 19. The 20th step is to make a PDF of this. Click Make PDF under the File menu here. And if you really want to just do a real quick PDF, so maybe you can print this off to see how it looks or to proofread it, then you can click Quick PDF. Otherwise, if you're wanting to get a good idea of what this will look like when it prints in the actual book and how the quality of the pictures are, click High Res PDF. It'll say that it needs to save and close your spread, and that's fine. And if you're like me and had that little red plus sign down here, you'll get this error that says overflow text detected. When you're actually proofing your pages and you're submitting your real yearbook, you'll definitely want to pay attention to this and fix it. However, for this exercise, it's not important, and we're just going to click Continue anyway. And it says that you'll receive a to-do when the PDF is ready. The to-dos will pop up in the very bottom down here where that little exclamation point is, and you can also just look in here to see them. It takes a couple of minutes sometimes. It depends on your internet connection. There it is. So if I just click one new to-do and then view PDF, that PDF will pop up right here and you can see exactly what it looks like. I think it looks pretty close to the original. You can click save and save it wherever you want, and then when you open it in Adobe Reader, Adobe Acrobat, whatever program you're using, that is when you can go in here and look at it as a two-page view so you can see how it would look in the book. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or email me, and I look forward to helping you out. Thank you.